Thanks,
There
Sandoval.
we go. Thank you.
Perfect. And for those who haven't worked with us before, the college relationship managers here at the Enabling Services and Support team are your single point of contact for any questions you might have or any need you might have from the Tech Center. While Monica Zelekit and Monica Medisic were both online today, thanks for that, Monica's, have their own email ID. We make it even simpler for those of you who are new to the system to reach them. This email ID, the crms@ccctechcenter.org, is a one email that you have to remember to reach and get the support you need. And I'll drop this email ID in chat here in a minute. The support team handles both student and staff support. We also provide a forum for peer support where you can reach out, post a question in the ccctechnology.info forum, and your peers would be happy to join in and provide the assistance or answer you're looking for, in addition to our staff support team that will jump in as well. Also, when you're live on any of our products, you can reach out and seek help by creating a support ticket by emailing staff support ccctc@opencc.zendesk.com, or you can reach out to one of our implementation engineers who have worked with you, the project manager, or your college relationship manager, and any of these folks would be happy to create a ticket on your behalf and get you the help you need in a timely manner. Before we get started on today's session, I want to remind you, each of our office hours will focus on a very specific topic. Like today, for instance, we're going to be looking at the in-progress application report. But this session will allow you an opportunity to ask questions about any of our products and services. I'm happy to see that our Executive Director, Dr. Jennifer Coleman, is in the house as well, along with our lead configuration engineers and the college relationship managers. Again, thank you everyone for joining us. And I will turn this over to Ramya Hari, who is going to be presenting today's demo and talking about the in-progress application. She is one of our configuration engineers and a subject matter expert in Apply. So with that, without further ado, Ramya, I'll turn this over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Michael. So like Michael mentioned, today's main focus would be to talk about Report Center in specific with the in-progress application database. It's all in the name, in progress. You can pull reports that are not being submitted by the students. They might have stopped in the first page. They might have completed few of the pages within the application, but did not hit the submit button. And this report is available only for the standard and non-credit applications. Also with the Report Center, the data is only available for the last 30 days. For example, every midnight, the data gets refreshed. So if I look for the report today, if I want to generate a report today, I will be able to see all the reports ending yesterday because the data refresh happened midnight today. But if the schools are interested to pull report, can you all hear me? I just had a message saying I was muted.
Yeah, we can hear you now. Thanks,
okay.
Ramya.
Sure. So if you do want to have data that is more than 30 days older, then Data Warehouse Direct Connect is the best way to access all the in-progress application data. Also, very good thing about Report Center is colleges can schedule reporting, by which I mean you can schedule a report to come in to an email that is being addressed within the Report Center scheduler and have it delivered maybe weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, however you choose to. And there are different options that you can pull the report in different file formats, which I'm going to demo everything today, from how to access the Report Center, where is the database located, and all the steps that I've just talked about. Okay. This is a screenshot of the login page. Each college will have a specific URL that is based out of your college or district domain. You can see here that you just have to replace your district or college domain name within these curly brackets. This is the home page of the Report Center once you log in. Looking for the in-progress application, again, I'm going to demo this. This is just a screenshot for the presentation today, but I will go through the steps that you can carry on. Choose in-progress application database. There are many other, but with specific to today's topic, we're going to select in-progress application database. When you do select the in-progress application database, you get to actually creating your report and views. There are 3 different panels within your report center. The leftmost panel is the data selection panel, which is obvious. You can select different data fields that are available within this in-progress database. In the central panel, which is called the ad hoc view panel, it gives you the data that you have selected from your left panel, which is the data selection panel. And also report center, you can filter out data, say based on, for me as an admin, I'll be able to see all data from all colleges. So I can, if I want to look for a data for a specific college, I can utilize this filters option. Or if you want to look at the data for a specific time frame, say you want to see it from Monday to Friday of this week, you can choose that filter and you will be able to get the report out of it. So that is the filters panel. Any filters that you choose to do within the data fields, that is going to be displayed on the rightmost, which is the filters panel. So in the left panel, like I mentioned, it is the data field panel. You can click on this plus sign, which will expand and show you the different data fields available for the in-progress application database. There are different views that you can have your report displayed to you. Table format, chart format, crosstab. I personally like the table format. It is much simpler to read, much easier to analyze the report. And also the data is available if you want to have a full data. It might take a couple of seconds to load the full data because it is the live information. You can also choose to have sample data shown to you. This is just a screenshot of how once we select different data fields, how the data is going to be displayed. Again, I will show you all this in the demo shortly. This I talked about the creating filter. It's very simple. Once you select the data that you want to have a filter on, right click on it and click on create filter. Actually, I can actually go back to the report center and talk about all this, which is going to be more interactive. Let me just get my report center open. Any questions so far with all the slides that I talked about?
Please post your questions into chat, please. Thank you.
All right.
There is a note from Julie about an error message. Julie, I'm not sure where exactly you're seeing that error message. If you could add that, that would be great. Thank you. Go on, Ramya.
Okay. So one of the screenshots, you saw how the homepage looks once you log in. So this is the homepage where you have libraries. There are public reporting, the public views that are available for all the colleges, but I'm not going to go through that because let's focus on the in-progress application today. To create an in-progress reporting for your particular college, click on, hover over create and say ad hoc view. This will give you the list of database available to choose from. Okay, so this is the list of database. Scrolling down, you will see in progress application database. So just click on that, say okay. These were the fields I was talking about. So the leftmost field is the data field. This is the ad hoc field. The filters field is kind of hidden here. If I click on this little square, it'll show the filters panel. Clicking on this plus sign will display data fields that are available for in-progress application. I just want to remind here that the data fields available within the in-progress database is different than what CCCApply applications have. This database has very limited data fields. It mostly contains all the general information of the students, not necessarily, because we wouldn't know where exactly the student might have stopped during the submission, during the application process. So these fields just capture the general information, their first name, email address, street, their mailing address, phone number, but it does capture the CCC ID because any student that comes into an application should have their open CCC account created, which gives them their CCC ID. So this will contain a CCC ID and application ID. The application ID is only going to be generated once the student crosses at least the first section of the application. Otherwise, the application ID won't be generated, and that won't be considered as a in-progress application. So let me go ahead and choose some data here. There are two different ways you can select. Before I select the database, I mentioned that there are different ways that you can view the reporting that you're going to be generating. I personally like the table format, so I'm going to select table. And you see they changed from columns and groups. So let's go ahead and select the data fields. There are two ways you can select. Either you can do double click, which will automatically populate in the columns field, or what you can do is hold your mouse and drag it to the columns space there. So I selected CCC ID, college ID. Let's go ahead and select first name, last name. To outreach to a student, you might want their phone number, their email address. So let's select email address and main telephone number. And like I mentioned, since I'm an admin, I'm going to see different college information when I'm trying to pull the report. Let's select the application ID as well and move that to third space. All right. So this is how you can select different data fields that are available on the left panel. Now, if I want to create a filter, for me, let me say I want to take a look at, say, Southwestern College. So what I can do is right-click on the college ID because that is the data field I already selected. Right-click on the college ID, choose Create Filter. So that comes up in the filter panel, and the default is 021. But if I click on this, it will give me a list of MIS code of the colleges. Also, you can use this. Another pointer that you can select within the filters is you can say if it is equal to, if it contains, if it does not contain, starts with, and so on. But for the college ID, let's make it simpler and say if it equals to, and I believe Southwestern is 091. So I'll select 091 and let me move this panel here, click on apply, and it populates me with all the information that is based out of the MIS code I selected, which is 091. And I have the application ID, first name, last name, email, and so on. The other data field that might be helpful for some of the colleges is the timestamp creation. That is, when did the student come into the application? So that is the TSTMP_create. And if I scroll to my right side, it'll tell me when the timestamp was created. This is all in the haphazard fashion, but if I right click on this, I can definitely sort this based on the order date, and I can say, give me the latest on the top, which is September 26th, and we can go down, and you'll only see partial data because I've not selected full data here. This is just the sample data. If I select full data here, I will get a bigger list of the reporting. Any questions so far?
Actually, there are quite a, oh, sorry, Sandra, go on.
Go ahead, Michael. I won't jump in again, but yeah, it's a good time to review the chat window. Thank you.
Yeah, and thanks, Jennifer, Patty, for jumping in there. So one thing, it looks like many of the school users are encountering errors when they're trying to access the report server. I want to point out that Ramya right now is using the production instance. So if I may request you, if you could send an email to support from your school email ID, and we'll drop that email ID here in a minute. That will help us to follow up with you and check whether it is user specific, and we can try helping that. Okay, Joshua, thank you.
Michael, I want to mention it may also be based on sheer volume of requests that are hitting the server right now. We have run into that before with Jasper.
Okay.
So if everyone's in there trying to run the same report, that may be causing some of the delays. I see that Joshua had a couple of refreshes and the errors cleared. So it may be based on volume of traffic right now.
Thanks, Jennifer. I appreciate that. Yeah, any access issues, let us know, or if you could follow up after a while, if you still encounter the same error, if you could send support an email, we would be happy to follow up and look into it and get you going. And Monica, I don't know if you have questions that you want to share with us, or I can look through the chat and
yes, I can go ahead and read them out loud and allow Ramya to answer them as I go along. The first question that I see is from Joel Diaz, and Joel Diaz asks, do we have access to students that create a CCCApply account but don't start an application?
Unfortunately, no. They have to, I mentioned this in the beginning of creating this report, they have to have crossed the first page, which is the general information, the term that they're applying, the program of study, if the colleges offer meta majors, they have to choose that meta majors. They have to go past that first page in order to generate an application ID. And that is after that point is only when the student, if they did not finish the application, did not hit the submit button, is going to be considered as in progress application. If they have not crossed that first page, it is not going to be recorded. No.
Okay. I also have a question from D. Gordon asking if the Social Security number field only shows the last 4 digits.
Social Security number is not available within the in-progress application database. The in-progress application database only collects the information that the student has provided while creating their open CCC account, which is all those general personal information, first name, last name, email, phone number, address, and it also collects their CCC ID and time when they entered the application. And if they've crossed that first page, it will create their application ID, which is also available. SSN is not available in progress application database.
Okay, and we do have another question coming in from David Anthony Navarro asking, how is college ID separate from CCCD ID? I thought college ID was assigned post download.
That's a good question. CCC ID is student specific. So when a student has to apply to any of the CCC colleges through our CCCApply application, they have to have created an open CCC account. The CCC ID reflects their open CCC ID account, but the college ID is specific to the colleges. It is the college MIS code. It does not, it is not associated with the student, but yes, that gets linked into the student when they do apply to your colleges. So MIS is specific to the college, CCC ID is specific to the student. Make sense?
Okay. Okay, and I am monitoring chat and I'm seeing that other questions are being answered within chat. And the next question I see, do incomplete applications include all students, including international type prospective students? And this is from Ben from Bakersfield.
No, international students, unfortunately, we don't take that information for the in progress. We only provide information for standard and non-credit students only.
Okay. And there is another question coming in from the initials DR. Is there a minimum amount of the application they need to have filled to be recorded in these tables?
Yes, I'm assuming the question is how far along should the student have progressed within the application? If that's the question, the answer to it is they have to go past the first page, which is the enrollments page, for them to be recognized as in progress.
And the second question to follow up is, would missing fields in a record indicate where an applicant ended application, or is there another way to estimate what page screens they completed in the application?
If the student goes and logs into the application, they can see it, but the in-progress reporting itself will not let you know how far along the student progressed within the application. But for the student, there is a visibility within the CCCApply. They can click on My Applications. They can resume their application wherever they have left off from, but not within the reporting.
Okay, and please let me know if I missed any other questions. I see a lot of questions are being answered within chat from our staff here at the CCC Technology Center.
Thanks, Emma. David Staves, I think you had your hand raised. I'm trying to look through and see if you had a question. If you have a question, can you put that on the chat, please? I'm scanning and I'm not sure that I'm seeing one from you. I just want to make sure we didn't miss it. And Beth, you had a question about who do they reach out for access to the report center. So each school has folks who are designated as CCCApply admins or report center admins. So whoever your school designates to administer the Apply and Apply Report Center will get access. So you might want to reach out to folks at your school in admission and records to check if you're looking for access, to have them request access for you. And they can add, typically the existing admins can add other users for the system.
Okay. If there are no questions, sorry.
One more second, Ramya. Kelvin Tran has a question. Where can we find the list of MIS code? I'm guessing you're asking for the list of MIS code for all the schools in the system. There's a link available in the Chancellor's Office page. I'll see if we can find it and post it here before this training ends. We'll be happy to share.
And I also see that David was able to put his question in the chat. Is there a way as an admin to view the individual in progress applications?
Individual in progress application. I have to double check, but there is a public database that you can utilize if you know the CCC ID, but I'm not sure if it's going to pull the in progress application. I can double check and get back to that question.
I just want to David, maybe you can clarify your question. I think you're looking to see if you can look at the full extent of the data in the in progress application of a particular student. Is that your question? Maybe you can clarify that. And then there's another question. Yes, for an individual student. Yeah, so David is asking, Ramya, if the in-progress application report, if they can drill down to a particular student. So like in this particular case, you're looking at, there's a CCC ID, the very first, yeah, exactly, the very first student. Can you look at the full application and where that particular student stopped?
No, not within the in-progress reporting. Like I was mentioning, there is a database wherein you can pull information based on CCC ID, but I'm 95% sure that is only based on the submitted application, not the in-progress. I can double check and get back to David. But within this reporting, no. The reporting only shows the data that you have specified for your particular report. And this is what you will be able to see, nothing in depth as to where the student might have stopped. Like I mentioned, the in-progress data base does not contain all the data fields that are available for our application, standard and non-credit. It is limited and it contains mostly about the general information on the student, CCC ID, application ID, the timestamp create, and so on.
Yeah. One last question before we resume the demo. I see from RCCDD, they have a question they sent over on private chat directly to me, but I see it's here as well.
So Michael, specific to to a student's in progress data, they are limited once they start a standard application and select a term related to standard application, they can't go backwards to non-credit. But if they start with non-credit, they can go to standard, and those are limited by selection of terms within the configurations that colleges who've adopted the non-credit application have made. So students, if they have one in progress, they can select the other, but only from non-credit to standard. The other thing I want to talk about with this report is for many, many years, this data was requested for colleges for use in outreach and support of students. And there are some rules around what we can share with, or there were some rules in place regarding what could be shared with colleges around intent and privacy. And part of the reason for not being able to share straight account information is that a student hasn't determined or declared which college they're interested in attending. And we have limitations in terms of sharing data widely beyond specific colleges with intent to apply. So we can't share specific account information until they've started an application for your specific college. And that also ties to some of the individual data that can be shared during the in-progress reporting. And of course, the question about ethnicity it's included in the application, but depending on how much of the application they've completed, it may or may not be included in a report that's run. So as was mentioned earlier, the data that's included in the in-progress report is only what the student has provided, assuming they've made it past the first page. And so if they have not gotten to that section, it would not be included in the report. Some may have gotten to it, some may have, gone to other sections, and you may have holes in the data because of that. It's really just whatever we have that's available that a student has included.
Thanks,
And the other point I want to make, David, to your comment is we do have our product team on the webinar or the office hour today, and some of these recommendations are being noted for future consideration. So we want to make the report useful to all of you at the colleges, and any feedback that's provided in this type of setting and through our support mechanisms is collected for consideration with enhancements and future offerings. So thank you for that.
Thanks, Jennifer. If I can follow that a little bit shamelessly and put a plug in for the community again, the CCC technology info forum that I talked about previously, it is a way for your voice to be heard, for us to take note of any feature requests that you have and float it up to the steering committees or user groups at the state level. So please consider participating and also helping your peers out there. I really appreciate it. We have more questions coming in. So hang on, Ramya. RCCD has a follow-up. When will students be able to log into CCCApply and select either credit or non-credit application? When they follow the link, either from a school, for example, or a link that they've received in an email, or assuming a school has reached out to them, when they click that, they are logging into OpenCCC, and they're proceeding to apply, or which is either standard or non-credit. I don't know if that answers the question, but let me know if you need further clarification.
The other question that I wanted to address is, were these filtered through IP quality score for possible fraud? The in-progress application data does have the potential to include fraud. The primary fraud scanning does not happen until the point of submission of the completed application. So please be aware of that. There are blockers, there is bot protection and other automated blocking in place at the point of account creation and sign on and access to CCCApply, but it has not gone through the full fraud filtering until the point of submission. So just be aware that part of what you may be seeing could include fraud markers because of how that system is set up to operate.
And then one last question from Doreen. Can you share information on how to find the older data in the data warehouse? Happy to, I want to add any one of you who's attending today, if you'd like us to follow up and set a one-on-one session with you to dive deep more in depth into any area that you're looking for clarity or answers, please send an email to the crms@ccctechcenter.org. Our college relationship managers would be happy to follow up with you and take you on a deeper dive in any of these topics and provide you the assistance you're looking for. So yeah, Doreen, if you could please shoot us an email. We would be happy to follow up and walk you through that step. Thank you, Monica, for sharing the email ID. Okay, let's go back to the demo, wrap it up, and come back and look at the questions.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So I'm assuming everybody's clear on how to create filters. Now let's go and see how you can save these reports within your college folders. For that, we will click on the save icon, save ad hoc view and create report. And each college has their own folders. So I have specified how you can go through these folders in the presentation, which I believe Michael will be shared with everybody later on. So let's click on organization. Within that, CCC, again, organizations, and you will see your college folder. Let me expand this a little bit. Your college folder, for example, if I'm from Allen Hancock College, I can click on this. That will show me different folder options, reports and views. So I selected save ad hoc view and create report. You may ask why. The view is like a skeleton as to you specify what different data points, data fields that you want to grab from the in-progress application itself. But the report itself will be used to say if you want to schedule this report on a bi-weekly basis, you can use the report, modify it. If you have any filters, for example, in my demo, I selected college ID as 091. But if I want to change that filter to, say, different college, 411, for example, I can change that within the report, but the view, you can only add different data fields. So when you're saving, Report Center will not allow you to just save it as a report. It will always specify that you have to save this particular reporting as a view also. So it's a good habit to select save ad hoc view and create report, which will do both at one shot. So on the left side, you will see the view name. You have to specify, I don't want to save this within the Allen Hancock College. We have our own private. Okay, so the report name, I always specify colleges that let's have the view word in your view name. It makes easier for you to read when you go back to your folder. You can always say, hey, what report did I create? What view did I create? So you will be able to distinguish those. So now let me name this as in progress reporting. I'll just specify the date, which makes it easier. And I'll copy the whole thing, paste it in the report name. These are the required fields. You have an option to give a description of this view and the report as well. I'm just going to skip that. And let me save that reporting in my reports folder and click on save. So this is saving the view, the report that you just created. How do you get back to this view and the report? Within the Report Center, if you click on View, choose Repository, and go to the folder that we just saved the report. For me, it is CCCTC Private. And under Reports, I will scroll down. It says this one, In Progress Reporting 9/29 View Report. So this is where my report is. how do I create a scheduler for this report? I want to run this report every week, say Monday morning, 10 o'clock, I want this report to be generated and emailed to certain people within the organization. What I do for that is right click on this, choose schedule. It's going to open up a new scheduler page. Click on create schedule. And you can choose this report to run immediately, or you can choose this to be running on a specific day and time. But if you want this to occur every week, every 2 weeks, or every monthly, I would prefer you to go to the recurrence type. And okay, on a specific date, you can mention the date and time that you want to run this report. The recurrence type, you can say, I want this to be simple calendar. It'll just say repeat this scheduler or run this report every 1 day, or you can say every 1 week. When I choose this option, today is Thursday at 12:38. Every Thursday at 12:38, this report is going to run. But if you don't want to do that, if you want it to run in a different fashion, say every month, every Sunday, I want this report to be run at a particular time, I can specify that time here, click on save. It'll ask me the job name. Okay, here, on a specific date. I don't want to specify that. So click on save. So the job name, what is this job name? It gives the name for this report whenever it runs. For example, here I specified run it every month, every day, which is every Sunday of every month at 10 a.m. And I want this to be called as reporting in progress application. So this will be the job name for this particular reporting. Click on save. And also, if I go back to this, there are different options that you can select. If I click on parameters, this will show me what filters I created when I was creating this view, creating this report. I can change this to a different college ID, or I can just leave it as is. If there were more filters, those filters would also be displayed here, and you can definitely change it based on your college's need. Output options, I forgot to mention this when I was doing the reporting. You can save this report in different formats, be it Excel, CSV file, PDF, HTML. You can see all different formats that are available here. I'll choose Excel format and the PDF, so it's going to give me both reporting in both those formats. And the repository here that mentions here is it's going to save these reports within the reports folder of our CCCTC private main folder. Or you can also specify, hold on, not here, okay, notifications. Let's go back to notifications. Here is where you can specify whether you want the reports when it is generated to provide a repository link. And mind, when you choose this include reports as a repository link, if a person who don't have access to Report Center won't be able to see this report. So the best way to do is include report files as a zip attachment, or report files as an attachment. This will provide, I selected Excel and PDF. I will show you a screenshot of how that email looks. So when an email goes out, when the scheduler runs every Sunday at 10 o'clock, the email that you choose, the college staff or anybody who wants to get an email for this reporting, you can specify those email addresses here and make sure you separate them with comma. You can specify the subject and the message that you want those reporting to go with. But when you select this include report file as an attachment, they will get this as an attachment, like an Excel file attached to the email body, and they'll be able to open that to see the data that is being generated. This is if a person does not have access to Report Center. But if a person has access to report center, you can always choose this repository link in the email body. They will have to log into the report center to take a look at the reporting. Let me go to the presentation here. We talked about all the filters. And let me go to, so this is, this is an example of how the reporting looks when I selected that to be downloaded as an Excel format. And this page talks about the scheduler, creating the report. We went through all these steps within the demo. And so this is the email notification as an attachment. This is what I was talking about. If a person does not have access to Report Center, you can attach the file within the email body, and they can click on this Excel sheet to open the report. But if you choose this to be as a repository link, you can see this shows CCCTC, and the person will have to log into the Report Center in order for them to take a look at the data. Any questions?
Yeah, we have a lot. Before I move this to Monica, to go through the questions, just a quick reminder, folks, again, if we either run out of time today, or if you want to take a deeper dive into any of the questions you have or areas of apply, please send our college relationship managers a request. I will share the email again. Thanks, Monica. She just did CRMS, and we would be happy to follow up and schedule a one-on-one session with you or your team, and happy to get you through, get you to the answers you're looking for. Monica, I'll turn this to you for questions.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to go ahead and pick up on this question from Florante Roa. Is there a plan to include the international later on?
I don't know the answer.
Yeah,
Jane answered that in the chat.
Yeah,
okay, perfect.
any feature request, the CCCtechnology.info, the staff support community forum is a great place to go and log any feature requests. So the product owner, Jane Linder, thanks for being here, can look, and the more requests we receive for a particular feature, the higher priority it gets when being, new features are being considered. So please consider joining us there.
If I save the view into our college folder, will everyone with reports access it in my org will they be able to see it? Is this just XLS, not SVC?
Can you repeat your question, Monica?
Yes, this question is from Maureen Barrio. If I save the view into our college folder, will everyone with reports access it in my organization be able to see it? Is
Yes.
it just XLS and not CV or
That's
CSV?
two questions.
I'm sorry.
That's two questions, Monica. So Ramya, yeah, take the first one. Everyone will be able to see it, right?
Yes. Yes. If you're saving your reports within your college folder, everyone who has access to Report Center, they'll be able to see it.
Okay, and is it just XLS, not CSV? My apologies.
The output options, these are the options that are available: CSV, Excel, PDF, HTML, Excel paginated. So all different types here.
Okay. We also have another question. If we run the report weekly, how do you choose a date range to not duplicate effort the subsequent week?
Oh, if you choose weekly, you can use the timestamp create to choose a date within the particular date range. But every week you will just say that when you're creating the scheduler, let me go back to the scheduler here. So you're not going to choose the recurrence type as calendar. You'll simply choose it as simple. And the repeat days you can choose, say, every week. But the duplicates, I'm not sure if those are going to be indicated. I will have to run a report weekly and see how the duplicates are going to be generated, or if it's not going to be generated.
Okay. And the next question is from Tammy, and it is in regards to an error. And the error she is seeing states report cannot overwrite its own data source. And she is seeing this when she is trying to save the report. I'm not sure if maybe we can give some feedback on that.
What is the error? Where is the error exactly?
I got an error when trying to save the report, and it states report cannot overwrite its own data source.
I'm not sure. I might have to take a look at if she has a screenshot, and if she can email that, we can get
Yeah,
that.
let's
Tammy.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Florante asks, hopefully social security number will not be a part of the attachment.
Social security number?
correct.
Yes.
Okay.
And Ramya, you confirmed that that's not part of this in progress application data set, correct?
Yes, yes. And before we go further, this presentation, it has helpful links, specifically the top one. This is for in progress application reporting, and you will be able to see all the different data fields that are available for the in progress application only. But the second one talks more about what report center is, how to create your reports, how to save them, filter them, all those good stuffs are within this second link. But the first one has all the data fields available for in progress.
Our next question.
Marcia, your question about in progress versus completed applications. Our team is working right now on building out additional reporting functionality for our next generation of application. And so our intent is to be able to show those numbers on demand for colleges. We aren't there yet, but we're starting to track them on our side. As an example, our completion rate for students who start an application and submit an application, we are just over 80% completion, sometimes as high as 90% completion. So we are starting to track that, and we want to make it available. It's not yet available, but it's on our list for what's to come. I also have a question that came to me in direct message. Ramya, when you were setting up the report, there was a list of colleges that you were selecting from, and I have some concern from a couple of colleges who said they didn't see their college indicated. I'm assuming that with their specific permissions as users to the report center, they would only have access to their college or their district's college, depending on their user level. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
But that all colleges are part of this report center. So all
yes.
colleges have data in this set.
Yeah. I did specify in the very beginning that since I'm an admin, I'll be able to choose or see any college's data, but specific to the colleges, you'll only be seeing your college data. Even when you're trying to save your reports, you will only see your college under the CCC organization list that I showed you. You won't be able to see other colleges.
Okay, and at this time, we do not have any new additional questions.
All right.
I do. Sorry, Ramya.
No.
I do have one question for Jane or Jennifer. You might know this. One of our attendees wanted to know whether we would be in a position or will be sharing what IPQS threshold or score is being used within CCCApply when that gets integrated.
Yes, there will be communication around that information to come. Right now, we've completed phase 1 of the integration of IP quality score data, which is to get the data flowing via the API and work to confirm that it is providing what's needed and that we can package it in a way that adds value to our fraud score that already exists. So there will be communication that goes with that as we move into phase 2, which is full enablement of that data into the fraud scanning service. So watch for more information to come. It's typically through our messaging service to student services staff, and if you get release messages and about our product updates, you'll get them. We will also be sending it out. We typically try to hit the admissions listserv as well. So more to come on that, especially given the system's focus around fraud mitigation.
And a follow-up on that, of course, there is ETA for production rollout, Jane or Jennifer?
We are looking at before the end of this calendar year. I am waiting on a specific date right now, but within the next, I believe, month and a half, 2 months.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Ramya. And Jane, appreciate you being here and helping us with the questions as well. If there aren't any other further questions, either on this topic or other topic, again, I want to thank everyone for taking time to be with us here today. This has been terrific. And I also want to remind you again, please feel free to reach out if you have a question out after you step away that we can help you with. Please reach out to your college relationship manager. And for those who during this session ran into issues with the report center or scheduling the report, please try again in a little bit of time. And if you continue to run into the issues, please log a ticket with our support team so we can get to the bottom of it and get that sorted out for you. And last but not the least, please consider joining us in your peer community forum, which is www.ccctechnology.info. We'd appreciate your presence there and your support for each other, so we can help make sure all our staff get the answers they're looking for in a timely manner. Thank you so much. Again, Jennifer, thanks for being here. Sandoval, thanks for helping us run this smoothly. Monica Matusek, Monica Zalakad, Martin Ryad, Beth, and last but not least, Ramya. Again, thank you so much. And Steve, I see you are here as well. Sorry, Steve, thanks for joining us. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks, everyone. We will, it looks like there's a question or two popping up in the chat here. Just for anyone who has a question in there, we will review the chat log and get back to you.
Thanks, Sandoval.
Sure. All set. Thank you, Michael. I will end the recording.